I'll introduce the introduction here, and then the introduction will introduce me, and then we'll engage with you guys on questions, and then maybe break stuff. That's why we are going to do the live stream here. Bobby is with me here. Him and I have done 2 of these in the past, but it's been quite a while. So usually we're highly edited before we put ourselves on the internet. So this will be fun. That's minutes. How many people? We got 82 people. That's pretty cool. So usually this is on Google Meets with the Out of Bounds Grotto meeting, which is who this meeting was with and for. But we didn't want to limit it to 100 people, which might have been the limit. And so we're doing this on YouTube Live. So what I'm going to do is share my screen, because I don't know how to share his video any other way. And then he'll have the introduction that he pre-filmed. And then we'll get started with the first question. And then we'll follow your questions until we get to, at some point, we just want to start breaking stuff if that's what you guys want. So bear with me while you watch a non-IT person figure this out. Oh, there we go.
Welcome, everybody, to the January meeting of the Out of Bounds Grotto. I'm Andrew Erickson. I'm a member of the Grotto, and I'm also a volunteer with the Gauntlet. Every month, the Out of Bounds Grotto hosts one of these meetings with a noted scientist or explorer or adventurer or conservationist. And it enables everyone in the community to come together and learn about what these people are doing, and also to ask questions and get a good feel for all the great work that they're doing. I'm really excited to kick off this year with Ryan Jinks from How Not To. It's taken us about a year to get this scheduled, and I have a year's worth of questions to ask him that I've been keeping track of. But other folks, obviously, please ask questions. We're all here to learn. Our grotto, which is our caving club, is a virtual grotto of the National Speleological Society. We are made up of cavers and people who explore and do scientific work and protect caves, which is a valuable natural resource. And we're based not just in the United States, but all over the world. Our members range in experience from very beginner to very experienced, and everyone is welcome to join and help with our efforts. Man, Ryan, I'm really excited about this talk. Thanks for doing this. We really appreciate all the content that you create for the caving community. We appreciate having another place to find good caving gear. We appreciate learning about all the cool stuff that's not just new, but how it all works and what happens when you do weird things with it. Thanks for all that you do. Thanks for supporting the Gauntlet. We have a ropes course that travels around the country, so folks can practice caving in a safe environment with dedicated volunteers to help them be safe and to learn new things. I love to learn. I'm really excited about this meeting. Ryan, thanks for doing this. Take it away, sir.
Cool. Thank you. It's exciting to be a part of a Cave Grotto meeting. I've never done that before. We have done, how many episodes do you think we've done? For caving specifically.
30?
20 to 30 is probably my guess.
Yeah.
Just to give you context, I've been in a cave maybe a dozen times. And it is fun to film in a cave and try to tell a story through me being a new person going into cave. And that kind of leads to the first question. The influencers have on social media influence on caving as a sport and as an organization trying to protect caves. We're just making it harder. I'm just trying to break gear. And I've been in a cave a few times. However, it does get people excited about wanting to try caving, which I think is pretty cool. I'm glad I discovered caving. But I'm not the only channel who talks about caving or shows caving on the internet. Is that a problem? I don't think it's a problem per se. Maybe how it's presented. I think that's probably the issue most people have, is if somebody's doing unsafe things, or if they don't have helmets, or like just sketchy practice, and people think that's normal without the disclaimers of this is sketchy. Like we did a Trandom, right? It's like we bounced fantastic, and it was like 3 people on a line. Like, we made it very clear, like, that's not normal. And we were measuring the force and like, but sometimes people do crazy, sketchy stuff in caves. Blow up the comments with what you guys think about what, if you are part of the community and you care what the community thinks, how you think it should be presented. The way I try to present stuff here is that I don't know much. I don't want to pretend like I don't know anything, right? But I want to be helpful in like, hey, people do this with 8mm pulses. We did a whole video on 8mm pulses. And I even did the thing with my friends and in a cave with an 8mm pulse. And which helped me give context to how we should have tested them. And we did shear and tension tests in rock and in concrete. And I think it was really helpful to be able to test that. But it's like, I hope that doesn't come across like you should or could use an 8mm pulse. It's just like, people do this. How strong is it? We try to avoid the word should in our videos. That's just something we, I think, have learned after 900 videos to not do. But I don't know what we did try once to do some teaching. Like, I've made big wall courses. Like, this is how I like to big wall. I like to do it this way. Highline anchors. I don't stutter when I talk about a highline anchor, right? I'm very confident about it. But we did take a video down after making a video showing how these individual descenders worked and maybe some of the benefits of it. And that was interesting. We have taken videos down in the past, but it was like rafting, right? I was exploring what the channel should do and could do. And then the information wasn't that helpful. And then you're like, wow, that just doesn't fit on the channel. These, we joke, are called rosaries because this is actually intended to teach our team in our store about the gear more. And so we have a rosary for hangers, and they're in order. And so there's a number on them, and you take a quiz at our store on our team for number 19. You have to say, like, you have to tell us in this multiple choice thing, a very hard multiple choice, like everything about this hanger and this one. And so nobody can lose my hangers and take it off the string, right? It was in a box. It ended up on a cord. And so now we joke that it's the hanger rosary. Interject whenever you want something. But this is a rosary of all of our alligator cord and our armadillo cord and our dragon cord. So at least the people in the store can feel the difference if they're going to be answering people's questions. And so all that to say, like everyone in the store currently, they don't cave, right? And we sell caving gear, and I want us to be a little bit more aware of the gear that we touch. We don't always answer every question. We try to answer people's questions, but sometimes we get a lot of emails, right, about that. You ask us a question about an order, we're trying to answer it under 5 minutes and solve your problem right away. And we put your stuff in the mail the day you order it, or it's free. Like, we really care about that. But then we get this other side, right? We get a lot of questions. And so when it comes to this gear, I don't know a lot about it. I could go down a rope with these. I'm not going to die. But that's not because I know how to use them. It's because I know to not take my personal anchor off until I test stuff. But the question is, how do we teach gear like this? Because now we have all this attention because we break gear. And Andrew really wants me to break my Petzl stop in a lock-off. And I don't want to break the stop, but we think the rope's going to break. But it kind of messes this up in the process. We might do it on the end of the video. But if we are going to make a video about how something should be done, we try to bring in an expert, right? But then I don't know what the expert, it's hard to fact check an expert. We all know we should fact check ChatGPT, but if you're checking CaveGPT, what's right and what's wrong?
Hard to fact check an expert if you are not also an expert.
So one of the strategies we have at how not to is to talk to more than one, write a script, run it by more people, and try to get the comment section to blow up before we publish. In our last newsletter, one of our last newsletters, we asked for feedback about, I think, was it DEET? Because we're doing a test on whether DEET's bad for climbing gear. And so we're trying to do more research up front. Now, the more people you collaborate with, you got to understand this, the harder it is to get content pushed out. And while we're still developing systems for store, media, and manufacturing stuff, to spend more time on videos is hard. We are trying to build our store team to pull more of them away to spend more time on media. Bobby's up here for a month at a time and then down bolting and adding new crags to the world. So when he's out of town, we're really thin on media help. We're trying to build that up because I want people to research a lot before I open my mouth. I ran out of new stuff to say 7 years ago. So I have to do a bunch of research before I, oh, cool.
Someone says they asked a
Yeah.
question and got a super quick response, and they want to know how many people work in the store and what their experience is.
So everyone who works in the store does something cool outside. It is, no one does everything. And a guy who dabbles in everything hardly does anything, right? But we do have 12 people. Three are in Taiwan. Climbing Taiwan's like a sister company. They're not part of like How Not To proper, but we work very, very, very closely together to try to bring more bolts to the world and other stuff that is specific from Taiwan that add value. Oh, very, very cool. Very specific for caving. This is the Petzl one, but these things cost more than the harness. Now they don't. So you'll see a Rec Gear pop up here and there. We're just trying to find where the biggest, like the most expensive stuff is and try to bring the price down on things that we can. Not everything we can do that. And let's see here. Can you see if you could solve her problem? We have to do a lot of research to make good videos. And that takes time, especially if you run it through the opinion machine. Man, I'll tell you what. How do you say this nicely? I love my audience, but goddamn, they give me some bad advice sometimes. They'll lead me down a rabbit hole, right? And you don't know who's doing it. And when somebody sounds confident or enthusiastic or outgoing, you're just like, oh, really? And then you explore it and you just find out they're really wrong. And that's actually helpful to know that somebody thinks that. And so you can make a video exploring it, but then you'll spend hours or years thinking you're doing something wrong and figuring out how to do it right. And come to find out it was either super good enough or that didn't matter. And I'm trying to unengineer gear. I'm trying to unmake gear. When we were, I was just in China a few weeks ago and we were making gear. I was like, wow, this is way easier than disassembling and going, oh, I wonder how it works. And half the time our videos are exploration. And bringing the audience along for the journey, which drives some people nuts. I don't know if they expect us to be experts. When we talk about things, like the experts don't make YouTube videos. And if they do, they're pretty boring. And then there's us. And then there's people who make YouTube videos and they don't put any effort into what they say before they say it, right? And so we try to be in that middle zone, right? I want to bring in experts. We are going to have an expert come in next week. Instead of us breaking these big, beautiful pulleys, we're going to have somebody who knows why lock-offs are even a thing on these before we talk about it. Now, we're not fact-checking them, but we also know we've worked with them before, and we know that they share good content. They've written a book before. But we don't let anybody leave here. We had somebody who wrote a book here yesterday, and we were filming. And give Ian a shout out. And we don't let anybody leave this building until we get them to go, really? It is fun to explore and scratch an itch until we can get them to feel like they discovered something new. Because that means that probably happened for you guys too. So if we don't have anything novel to share through 100 hours of research, sometimes we're just like, we have a really good question and we just want to know like what'll happen. And your guys' responses and comments will often lead to part 2 of a video. That's really how a lot of the bolts we have tested happen. A lot of feedback comes in. You got to understand, a lot of feedback comes in, right? You got to filter all that feedback. Ties not being hung. Google. Yeah, should also do an episode on Gauntlet. I'm just reading the comments. It's kind of fun. You mean like I don't get to read the comments while I make a video ever? It's always like after I hit publish, right? Invite through. So, I'm going to go over another question that you guys have more questions about, like, oh, let's talk about the cave thing better. All I can do is talk about what I do, right? I try not to share the cave we're in. I try to be very clear about, like, fantastic, you're in fantastic, everyone knows you're in fantastic, right? But like all the other ones, I say I'm caving in Florida. I keep asking, where's the flattest place on earth? And I'm like, there's no caves there, right? And there's always seems to be a cave. And so we're caving in Antarctica. Like, it's always the joke because I don't want to share the cave. I'm not trying to blow the cave up. I just want people to understand like what caving is through my POV. I also really like filming with my phone. There's a lot of GoPro footage out there, and I don't know how it does so well on the internet. It's just, I get dizzy watching it. I kind of like the phone method. Like, by the way, I assume you all know that's the channel right there. Now, we do have, yeah, battery's good enough. I'll take you for a ride here. We do have that camera for the intros, and it's set up with the mic, which is kind of like almost weird because then you go to a cell phone after that. But you can have mixed footage. And the reason we use a phone is because it's simple, and simple is what allows us to get close to the gear and be in the, like, get it on really fast while like something's happening. Keeping the workflow super, super simple is the key to be able to make more content that you can focus on the content instead of the artistic side. Some people do really good with the artistic side, but I only have so much I can spend on a video. So much I can spend and so much mental energy you can spend on a video. You have to like decide what is the line of super good enough. Now, made a video with one of these things, and there was like 2 or 3 things that were, I would call incorrect, demonstrated incorrectly. And so we ended up taking the video down. And I do agree that if stuff is on the internet like that, that is unhelpful, especially if you have a grotto that's trying to teach people how to do things right, how to protect caves, protecting cave access. And then you have like barely a caver, an almost non-caver, you know, hitting publish on something like this. And so I do want to make these rosaries for all types of gear to help people understand. It's like, it's a glorified gear guide, but like, well, a lot deeper than just a gear guide. That takes edit, undo, Control Z sometimes. So we do like to listen to the audience. So what else do we got? I share a cave location all the time. So is it bad if there are more cavers in the world? So there's that. Is it bad if specific spots get too popular? It could limit access. Is it bad if gear is demonstrated poorly? I think so. It's pretty hard to undo people's things they learn on the internet. There's a lot of things people learn on the internet that we're still trying to undo. I had a rope manufacturer today, a sales rep, but like the rope people think that ropes are weaker by 35% when they're wet. Can I get a lull out of all the cavers? Now, some cavers use nylon rope, right? I think pit rope's nylon. They complain about being bouncy, so I think that's nylon. But like, it's not weaker. And if it is, the knot makes it weaker. We did a video, and Hard as Easy did a video, and so it's interesting. Like these, it's not false. Honeywell has tested nylon. Nylon at the molecular level is weaker by 35% when wet. It's not wrong. It's just not right. And so we're trying to dispel a lot of myths. The last thing I want to do is add more. But I definitely want to encourage critical thinking in a world that it's going away quickly. Just watched a Veritasium video where he was talking about his goal is to help people think critically, right? A lot of the science channels I like to watch are really, that's their mission. And Mark Rober's into that stuff. And it's like, wow, like that is what we're trying to do. And you're not going to learn about every pulley necessarily. I mean, maybe we could test every pulley, but you should be able to predict what happens when you do a thing. And people should know that if you tie a knotted rope, it's a little weaker, which matters, I think, more when you get into the rappelling these types of things. There's, I'm shocked that Petzl has a really thin cave line now. I forget, I think it's cave line. It's not a fancy name, but it's like really thin. And I don't understand how it goes through one of these devices, as I understand it. I could be wrong. It says live. I would go check what I'm saying. But it's like, man, I'd almost want like a canyoneering device where you can actually add friction on the fly. It'd be interesting to see how much of these sports cross-pollinate. I know you have your little friction spur, but like, I want a couple spurs. So I love rappelling on thin cord. I just love knowing that it's going to work first. And sometimes you get 10 feet down and you're like, oh my God, this is way too fast and you're gripped. But man, you really just shouldn't be discovering that stuff on the fly. And I do like the fact out of Bounds Grotto does like actual in-person lessons above ground where you can work out a lot of these kinks, maybe do some self-rescue if your hair gets stuck. When you're not in the mud in the dark, when it matters on a 400-foot rappel. Let me go. I want to move on to the next questions that he had. Do we have any things we want to bring up yet?
No.
So Andrew asked about nylon webbing for cow's tails or anchor material. Is it dynamic enough at such a short length to matter? Every little bit helps. I don't really want to be falling on polyester rope. I don't think there's a downside of having a nylon anchor. But the problem with it bouncing is if it's going over the edge, like you don't want it to do that. But
is this much enough to matter? Where is the camera?
You got to come over here. It's mirrored
like,
for us.
Will you see that effect over 18 inches, 2 feet? Will you see dynamic?
No, we have dropped enough personal anchors at this point to know that you definitely would want to fall on a nylon dynamic product. But yeah, I'd say it matters. I'd say it helps. But I'd like to know what caver's falling. You're not climbing. You're like, I don't know. Maybe you could fall. Maybe you like slip and you stand up and you do a thing before you like, and then now you got this slack and I've done that before. Okay, I could see how that could happen. What is my experience aid climbing in a cave versus aid climbing on a wall? In my opinion, it's way more fun in a cave. Not because it's dark and muddy, but because on El Capitan, for example, it is a prescribed line that you're following. You got to do it a very specific way usually. There's probably maybe 2 ways to skin the cat, but that's the anchor. Somebody else told you where that anchor is. Probably using the same hardware.
You're not doing exploration. You're not putting in bolts.
No. But in caving, as bad as you want to go right there, you kind of have to go up here first and then over there and then down a little and then up and over. And the crazy, so like that, the exploration part's fun. But the crazy part is, like, no one does it again. It just like, that was probably the biggest takeaway when I first started caving. Every caver gets their rocks off by being like the first person somewhere. Man, the eyes that they have when they get, I've been in enough Virgin Passageway with cavers now. You're just like, I'm looking at their eyes more than this beautiful space we just found ourselves in. And they're just like, and you're just like, wow, they're really enjoying this. And yes, it's cool. But the fact I almost get that satisfaction out of like, I'm the only person who will ever climb this. Because once the rope is fixed, it stays fixed. And then you're the only one who plays that Super Mario level in the game. And then everyone just like passes the dead Bowser and goes off to the next level, and which I guess is how you get deeper in a cave. But I just, as a climber, we always pull our rope down. You know what I mean? So I really enjoyed climbing in caves. No one's done that spot. No one's going to do that spot. Pulses. Oh my gosh. You guys, the fact you use 8 mil pulses. Okay. I feel better after testing them, but damn, now y'all want to put AS plates in those things. It's the plate with the dynamic cord you put through. Damn. Like, all right, let me tell you why. I can't pull out the removable bolts that shall not be named. Petzl doesn't like those ones, but they're short, where you want all of it in the rock. And the problem is the AS plates are like yay thick, and so now you like half your bolt's not going to be in the rock. I don't mind the 8 millimeter part. Let's be clear, the 8 millimeter part is fine. It's the how shallow it is in limestone that I find to be the part the part that makes me feel a certain way when I'm climbing on it. If it was like another inch deeper, I'd be, yeah, it's a little bit more drilling, but it's like an 8 millimeter hole. Okay. I would love to have it an inch deeper. With your AS plates, now you're only just the tip. Nobody likes that. So, yes, we have used pulses in highlining. They were 12 millimeter pulses, and we've used them twice in highlining. And both times I was pretty upset about it, because I'm like, the packaging says it's for rappelling and you're supposed to have 2 of them. And both lines were, one was 500 meters, 14,000 feet up. And the other one was really deep in Sweden. And we didn't even have like, we had a hyperstatic rope for an anchor. So like, it's really hard to equalize. So it's like putting more force on one bolt than it should. And it's just pulling straight out. And you're just like I love removable bolts. We don't have any here. We just got the new removable bolts from Climbing Taiwan that have that triangle top to it. I'm impressed with those. I haven't put them in. I haven't tested them, but I'm like, they're a little bit longer. And I wouldn't mind highlining on some of them.
Are those 8 mil?
I think they're 10 or 12.
They're not 12. They might be 10.
They might be 10. I wish pulses came in 10, right? It's that sweet spot between, like, I don't need, depends what you're doing with them. Cut versus abrasion resistance in soft goods. Have you guys ever seen, Edelred has like one of the better machines with the wheel that cuts the rope. And then Mammut has the edge. And so you have the edge and then they drop the rope and it cuts. I like both of those. They're both hard to make or simulate. But I like the Mammut one, right? That's more realistic in my opinion. The wheel, it's easier to control, right? A lot of tests, it's hard to control the variables so you can compare one thing to another thing. But one of the ropes that did really, really good, there was a rope that had an Inegra core, right? Inegra is like a Dyneema, but starts with a different chemical. The process is, I think, similar. It's fancy. It has high cut resistance, but when you put it in a rub tester, right? Everyone's worried about the rope rubbing over the edge. This thing, which I don't use that often because this blade ends up getting fuzz on it. and it becomes really like self-padding. So nylon ends up being infinitely abrasion resistant, which is not true. It's just the edge gets fuzzy. But this feels more realistic. I'd prefer to just have 200 pounds hanging here and this rope just pulling it. Like, it's hard to make good test equipment. That's why we have our one trick wonder, our pull tester. And drop tests are really hard to compare apples to apples. And a lot of people, I'll jump on this bandwagon. A lot of people think that a drop test is going to produce a different result from a strength perspective. It
can,
but it's often like if the rope breaks at 18 kilonewtons, the rope's going to probably break at 18 kilonewtons on the drop tower. The only difference is the shock load is shorter, right? So like we just finished filming a video about overhand, flat overhand and EDK, joining two ropes. And Ian wanted to see a drop tested. And I'm like, first of all, if you're doing a hard drop test on a rappel, you're rappelling wrong. But your peak force of 6K and whatever is short. You're probably not going to get that to roll. In a slow pull where you're just constantly pulling at 6K in, yeah, you could get it to roll all the way to the end and like party trick it. But that's the difference between drop tests, is just it's shorter. And it is interesting how fast you can get up to a breaking force if you are falling on, let's say, polyester rope. So cut versus abrasion resistance in ropes. If you really need that, yes, there's Technora. There is Technora in this Bial backup line. I think it's the black stuff here. I thought Technora could only be tan, but anyways, yeah, it's more abrasion resistant, but like it's not abrasion proof. You just can't, you can't have it rubbing on stuff. Like even a steel cable, you wouldn't want rubbing on stuff. So get a thicker rope, or don't let your ropes touch rock. I like the Alpine style of rigging.
What do you think about doing a video on munters?
Right now, or as a long?
As a long later.
Oh, I mean, I want to see munter versus super munter versus different carabiners, round stock versus I-beam.
How would we test that?
So when we design a test, we have to consider storytelling so people can understand. So people can understand what is a munter, why would you care? But we also have to test like what everybody normally does. And we got to test the edges on both sides to be like, so like obviously super thin, but like super thick, because that sucks too. And what solutions could be available if you had super thick. So designing a really good experiment that doesn't get too far deep in the weeds. We have a headlamp episode. We got too far deep down the weeds. And so we ended up biting off essentially 3 full episodes worth of content. And we're now trying to smash that into 15 minutes, which makes it for an incredible episode. It's just writer's block galore. Swaged cable for V-threads. What do I think about them? Are you bringing a swager in a cave? You're not swaging it before you go in the cave. Like I'm assuming you're threading it in the V-thread, pulling that cable through, and then crimping it on site. Like,
I guess if you had an eye on both sides, you could pull it through and clip both eyes, but then you have to have a big hole to accommodate the eye.
Oh. Yeah, I don't understand. My question back would be why? Like, try cutting this. And you could put a sheath on it. And it's strong.
And it's inspectable before you get on it.
Yeah, you can roll it around. And I do like the idea of V-threads. I've been thinking about V-threads from a climbing perspective as bolts become frowned upon. So also I think broke the Dyneema cord that we had laying around. And it's this is the Bial Dyneema cord. It's 5 mil. And this is for V threads. Well, I mean, people use it for V threads. I gotta be careful how I word things here. And we tested in the rock out here with Brent Roth for canyoning. Wasn't that like 22 KN? It moved my rock.
Yeah, it was pretty high. I don't think it was quite that high.
It moved my rock, and my rock's bolted to my house. So, and you could double it up. So I would almost rather try to squeeze 2 of these in there, so you'd have like redundancy in that one hole if you really. And it's so light. Just why would you take cable? And like, are you taking stainless cable? Because if you don't, and I went caving, I'd be like, what the heck? Ooh, what do I think about sewing your own alpine runners?
Splice them.
Don't. Did you know the channel started with me wanting to sew sewing loops on my webbing? So like everybody had no sewing loops. It was just web locks, and
for highlining, of course.
For highlighting, and we were using these on both ends. And so like you're telling me that I could eliminate 2 of these out of my kit, make it lighter, make it slicker. You know, it's just, I was like, wow, I want all my stuff to have sewing loops. This is before you actually connected 2 different pieces of webbing together to make long webbing. And so this is literally why the channel got started, was me exploring that and realizing there was like,
what stitches do I do?
To make sure it was safe, right? This is when I started pulling stuff with the band. And I got the ratchet and like webbing stretches. So you think how dumb that is? What? The ratchet, what's it called? The come along.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you realize you're standing like, you're like right in line, and you're trying to like do this. And it's like, and then you run out of throw because you can only pull this much. And then it's like your webbing was awful. So then I started pulling with my van, and then I was like, oh, I'm in line with my thing. So then I started doing 2-to-1 so I could be off 30 degrees. And here we are. So it's funny to ask about sewing alpine runners. What I've learned was how deep that topic goes, how bad you can screw it up, and you don't know it. There was like when I had a lot of people sending me stuff back in the day, I had somebody send me some sewn loops, and they unraveled at 4 kilonewtons, which is lower than the force they would have been putting on it. Now, I mean, you could put on an alpine runner 4K in if it's in the systems in the right place. But I'm like, holy shit, I didn't even know it was going to do that. So the fact it's like, it has to be repeatable. Like you have to do something that you can test and then make it repeatable and then occasionally test it. Because if you're wrong, you die. Like you don't want to be wrong on that stuff. Now, if you do want to make your own alpine slings, I'm not trying to push this. I'm just saying you can splice this in a predictable enough way that you're going to get some crazy high forces out of that. And it's light. But I mean, man, you could get a Dyneema sling for $8-9 and they're skinny, super thin. You just definitely don't want to be sewing your own stuff. Do we have any questions? What do you guys want to see me break? What is that blue stuff? That blue stuff is 12 braid Dyneema or HMP. HMPE is high molecular strength polyethylene. Dyneema is the name brand. M Steel Blue is the other brand, but it's the stuff that you splice. It's hollow braid, 12 braid hollow braid. And what we make out of those, more often than not, are soft shackles. So if you've seen a soft shackle, that's what it's made of. But you can splice it in different ways. And this right here is probably 60 to 80 kilonewtons strong. That's why we ended up using them in all sorts of stuff. Now, does this have a place in caving? Maybe. I mean, it's light. It could be. I personally don't know where you'd use it. Depends how you rig your anchors, I guess. But like this is what we used to do. I wouldn't use it to replace this. This has a key function, right? It's 1 carabiners. You're not cutting enough weight for that to matter. You just didn't see if you would incorporate it into an anchor, but if you're going to thread V-thread, you could. It's just like you're not going to leave. That would be a temporary V-thread. You're not going to leave this because it's something that could be undone and somebody would probably be wigged out. The thing about good solutions is they have to be really easy to understand. If you have a really clever thing and you can thread this through and you're like, it's 80 kilonewtons strong and it never comes undone because there's a built-in like cord thing in it and it's like awesome, but nobody understands what they're looking at when they get there, it's not as sustainable. Like somebody's going to cut it off. That's why you want your bolts to look normal. So somebody doesn't go in there and think they need to fix it. Especially if you've done a nice job doing a nice glue in, but you have this weird, it looks weird. I don't know if you guys have a way to publish somewhere that this bolt was done on this date with this epoxy and that it was done nicely. I know like in the past, you don't have a lot of that information, but if you're going to put a lot of work into a cave, I don't know if there's a way to like share all of that information so people know more about what they're looking at, but also trying to just keep things really normal. I don't know how common glue-ins are for caves, and I don't necessarily think glue-ins are the end-all be-all. They definitely have their place and they're definitely helpful, but they are a lot more work to put in. And as long as you're using 316 stainless steel, then a good bolt that's long enough is going to last a long time. Don't get me started on the stainless steel train. Trying real hard not to do that right now.
So we had some suggestions. Somebody suggested breaking an Omni. Somebody suggested.
Oh, of course you do. This one's the expensive one. Do you guys want to? Okay, so brake testing something tri-loaded. I assume you all want to see it tri-loaded, like if it's in a harness. Wonder how do you do that? Because like you got to be able to pull,
or at least keep it,
or
centered.
keep it. What happens is by the time you do this and it gets pulled, it does this, and you end up with this 45-degree angle off to the side and pulling it, which we could do, or we could just put a spanny right here. We could break this if you guys want. When you see shorts, what is this one?
So the other suggestion was this, and whether rope or this breaks first.
As I assume lock off. It's just going to slip if you don't.
Yep.
That one's easier. Let's start with that. What do you guys think is going to happen? So this is what we go through. What do you think is going to happen? So one, we can tie it off right. It doesn't come and hit us.
Is this 10 mil spalenium?
It is. There you go.
How's that?
BL 10 millimeter spalenium.
Yeah.
It is nylon, semi-static. I don't know how much you guys like semi-static. I personally like the hyperstatic ropes. Just don't fall in them. But this, I'm wondering if we could put a bollard. We've just tried to tri-load things in the past. We tried it with, we have a quick link rosary as well. And we tried to tri-load quick links because they'll also be used in weird ways, especially stuff like this. And it's pretty hard. Even if you like, let's say you went out to 2 trees out here and you tensioned it, and then you pulled in the middle the other way. By the time it gets to like near failure, the angles are like gooder. They're not good angles, but they're better angles. So yeah, just don't fall. Delta quick links are okay to tri-load. Yes, Rachel. But how much can you tri-load them?
In the challenge course industry, we're definitely moving away from tri-loading Delta because Pegget is saying that it's designed for webbing, not tri-loading.
So the fat side is intended for something like the span set,
Yeah.
not to be pulled in 3 directions.
Yeah.
Now, if something's on your harness, like we often say, you will break before the gear does. But I have heard that before, because we used to do that when we would rig anchors and highlining, that people would be using these and doing the tri-load thing, and we never broke any. So does that mean it's fine? I don't know, but that's not obviously what it's intended for. How do you say it? Pegget? Pegway? Pegay?
I've heard all of those.
It means quick link in French.
No, it's the company. Man, Rapide means.
Oh, man. Ah, shit. Man, you think I can barely do English, so whatever. I'm trying to still figure this one out. So when you see a short, one of those 30 to 60 second videos, they take on average about, it can take an hour to make. Sometimes they take longer, but on average, let's say an hour to test, right? You got to think about how you're going to pull it. What's the story behind it? And then you're like, this is a quick link, because I'm trying to like hack your firmware of your brain to stop death scrolling, so you'll stop and learn something. Make sure we always have something to, you walk away with something for waiting 60 seconds longer to wipe. And then we have to figure out how we're going to break it in a way that a single break test or 3 break tests can tell a story. Because if something is like breaks weird, you can't just put that one weird thing in there unless you give context. And shorts don't allow us time to give context. So that's why I used to hate them. Because the joke is every episode's 9 minutes of disclaimers and 1 minute of content. And I only have a minute to work with. So we actually got way better at storytelling. And now I joke that our episodes are 10 shorts put together, stitched together. And so you have to figure out how you're going to break something. And then if it breaks something, it breaks weird. Sometimes you have to break a second one and then you don't have it. And you got to go to the shop and get another one, or wait for it to show up because it's the last one you had. And then some videos just die. And then from an editing perspective, by the time we do text on screen, make sure we tell the story. We try to add more information through the text than what we say, so we can actually cut out a lot of the words we say and just write it as text in order to give you more in less time, more helpful in less time. And so that takes another hour to edit. And so on average, it takes 2 hours to make a 45-second short for you guys to watch when you probably should be working at work. So now you're just watching the whole process now. You ready to go? Is it locked off?
No.
Do we want to see how much force it takes to pull that through?
With somebody holding it?
Without somebody holding it, and then with me holding it.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to adult.
Check that I loaded it correctly, because it's been 15 years since I loaded a rat.
We'll find out if you loaded it correctly really quickly. Yeah, there we go. So one of us is going to be a chief laptop holder. Don't shake it too much. Okay, so here's this is our new load cell, which I'm pretty excited about. 0 start. Yeah. This will make it so no one's going to throw up. There we go. Sorry about that. This load cell feeds into this thing, which is all now got rubber on it instead of my bathroom mat covering it. First test we ever did for cavers was some dirty ass rope. And I was like, oh, this will be interesting. It was in a cave for a long time. And then it broke and dirt went everywhere. I know that doesn't shock you, but I was just quite traumatized. I got to vacuum my brake tester. Yeah, I still remember that test. It was like hot out. I remember the whole day. And then Rachel hit me up.
55-year-old gold line.
Yeah, and then Rachel hit me. I was like, caving's cool. Come cave with me. And she lied. Caving's not cool. It's very unique. All right. So how much force do we get doing just this? So we got 1 bin, 2 bin, 3 bin, 4 bin. 0.1 kilonewtons. That's underwhelming. Is that as many bars as we have? Wow. So now if I hold it, okay. If I do this to an ATC, watch me get hurt live. It'd be totally worth it. All right. You see it coming out of my hand? 1.93. Now I'm less than 1 kilonewton, so that would hold me. But that's interesting that I can't hang on to this until it breaks. That was something you don't realize until you try it. Same with an ATC. Same with the gree-gree. But with the gree-gree, if you hang on to it, the two plates break apart and almost hit you in the face. And and then bad there. Oh, there we go. Come on. There you go. And then bad things happen. I didn't fix that light because I think it's more of a trophy than anything. Trophy that I'm still alive. Should we lock it off?
You want to suck it back in and lock it off?
Yeah. We don't want to lose throw. This stuff can stretch a lot. Wrong way. We hold that. Isn't this exciting? Okay. And then we'll push the bars up. It's kind of fun. It's a video we don't have to edit. Okay, I am gonna just get slayed here, but it is live. I do not want too much criticism. Okay, so that's my 8. Goes under the bars. It went back up right there. It's a lot harder holding a laptop. Then I went back under this and over. And then I did this. If you don't know, knots tie lots. So the idea here is that it is going that direction. We don't need the load cell on here. There we go.
You all can predict where it will break.
Yeah, no YouTube engineers now. Oh, I knew it was going to break there. No. You got to say it before or you do not get an opinion, okay? It is. So we have an issue is it's not touching this top bar. It's squishing the rope itself. But it is touching the second bar. And so I'm going to put a Sharpie on here. No, Sharpies do not hurt things. Can I get a Sharpie? Now, things will stretch. So we are going to consider, like, I'm going to put on the back of that bar, and then I'm going to put a dot on this side and a dot on this side.
Put it somewhere they can see it moving in the shot.
I'm really tempted to film this, and then I'd probably put, it's hard to get close with the laptop. Plus is my laptop. I don't want it too close, right? The phone's a little bit more durable. So let's, this is a really cool arm. It articulates in all the directions.
I'm going to back this up a bit.
Okay. So I'm going to do that. Oh, it's going to be a short. There we go. So all right. Let's go slow-mo on that. 60. Cool. All right. Are we ready? Stop. Start. Camera on. You got your safety glasses on?
Six, 7, 10, 11, 13.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. You do not get to say you knew that was going to happen. This is why you're not supposed to stand next to this stuff. I was expecting the rope to break, guys. What the heck? It smells like shit.
Back it off.
Oh. Wow, it broke the second bar.
I think you can take it out now if it will.
If it will. Wow. Okay, I'm gonna undo the knot. Wow. Okay, so I want to show you guys what's going on here before I take it all apart. We'll move the camera. Okay. That bar right there broke. That's interesting how much force was on it. I've never broken a rack before. Clearly, I'm pretty surprised. This is actually a fun test to do live. I want to see how many people called it. It exploded. Okay, I have no way of checking right now whether or not you called it.
16.77 is the result we got.
Where were you when How Not To broke his face with a rack? No. Okay, so it was 16.77 kilonewtons, which you can see here. Let's move the thing out of the way. You have to hit stop or it just keeps getting smaller, right? And so it just went straight up. There was not a lot going on with the curve of that. It's not like it was, nothing slipped. And then it maintained, if I touch it, it'll tell me. It maintained 2 kN when we were like, ooh and ahhing over it, until we backed it off. And 2 kN's a lot. Now, that was 16 kN. Okay, you don't need to all go use steel racks now, but it is very interesting. This thing is curved in a... It's still, wow. Now I got to get another rack for my rosary. Thanks, guys. I don't think it's supposed... Does your rack look like this?
That'll get the point across on the rosary.
Yeah, we could keep it on the rosary or we could put it on the wall.
Yeah.
So we have the new lab for the store. So we can break stuff there, and that's where the vertical universal testing machine is. We can put that on the wall there because we're running out of wall space here. I just can't believe it broke that. It just snapped it off. That's pretty wild. That's pretty cool. So break a stop. Oh, you guys suck. I'm gonna lose all my caving rosary. I might do it. Let's break. Wait, they wanted this button, right?
Yeah.
Can I just cross load it? Is that good enough? Somebody tell me that's good enough. I don't know how else to do it. I'm gonna put these away. See, wouldn't that be just way more exciting to watch in 60 seconds? I know some people might like watching the hour-long version. Just so we're clear, that's the shape it is like now. It already looks like I bent it. Is it worth trying to...
Do you have any span sets?
You know, next time I'm going to wear earplugs. Do we have span sets? We could triple up a...
Yeah.
It doesn't. Man, I'm so close, guys. Check that out. I so badly want because it's fat. Not gonna go on. Okay, let me play with that for a minute, Bobby. We could quadruple up.
Yeah.
That we ended up not using span sets, the industrial slings. because these are as strong as the ones we were using. And so we have big long ones, and then we got the tiny ones that we've been using forever. But I think if we triple it up, that is going to be, it's going to be fat enough for sure. Clearly strong enough. But yeah, I wonder how they rate that carabiner. Think about it, right? Carabiner has a rating. Where is the carabiner? What's it rated for? Ooh, check out the symbol. That's cool. All right. There we go. See how it says like 25 and in the 3 directions there? 20 if we pulled it the way you'd expect. 15 if you cross load it. And 7 if it's open. I don't usually see that on a carabiner, which is nice because that is the intended use, being pulled in 3 ways. I wonder, can we reverse a rigging plate? If we put this against a rigging plate and we clipped it against the rigging plate, so it was like, but I'm afraid with the rigging plate break.
How do we maintain tension?
You would like take a small soft shackle and you would like but then soft shackles whenever you go over the head.
Not visualizing it.
It would be hard. I think we could just break this the way we're planning here. Okay. So you can see here that every test takes a lot more thought than do it that way.
Yeah.
I'm gonna watch Bobby work.
I love that.
He hates that. All right, Bobby, don't screw up. Everyone's watching. No, you're doing it wrong. No, the other way. That's not going to work. That's not science.
Oh, yeah,
to go
we're
out?
at our 90. Yeah, send it. No, that's it. So I'm going to take
one out.
This. I was doing it wrong.
Yeah. So while he's doing that, quick announcement from our sponsor. No one, because no one wants me to break their gear and pay me for it. So we started a store. But I used to have a store that I'd promote, and they didn't ship reliably. And so now that is the reason we ship it the day you order it, or your order is free by 1 p.m. Pacific time. So just want to be really clear. We do not make money selling caving gear. No one does. That's why it's nice to actually pair it up with a store that sells more things, so we can actually spend quite a bit of money. Like, I'm breaking a lot of shit today. And in order to pay for it. Otherwise, there's no other way to pay for it. YouTube ad revenue, $1,800 a month. When you work 100 hours a week on it and then break stuff and the equipment doesn't cut it, right? So I'm pretty stoked we found a sustainable way to make the channel continue, because we're pushing to the 10-year mark soon. So, okay, are we ready? So we're gonna pre-tension this one. I'm gonna do. You don't ever let a good break go to waste. Okay. All right. We good?
Yep.
I'm going to do, hold on. We're not good. Hold on. Yep. I am not doing that again. And I'm also not going to watch. So we'll put you up close. As long as you got your safety glasses on, we'll put you up right up against it. But I sure as hell am not going to stand here. You guys can risk yourselves. Ready? Are you going to stand there?
No.
Okay. Start. Camera. Camera. Oh, we got to back that off. If I don't back that off, hold on. I'll show you the number in a minute. If I don't back that off, those sharp edges will rip apart our soft shackles. So now it's a circle. You slide the arm. There we go. And we got 27.15. And it just went straight up and straight down. Who called that one? You don't have to hold the phone. I still choose sometimes to hold the phone. For the EDKs, I held the phone and followed the rollovers. Oh, it was still a locking carabiner.
Other way.
There we go. It's oh
yeah, it's backwards.
Damn
now.
it. There's another cool thing to hang on the wall. But the I-beam shape's really cool. Like, what's a good shot of that right there? You can see all the how I-beamy it is, not just round stock. I think the way these things are made is very interesting. So it is a circle. It was a circle until I put it on backwards. So I will stop playing with this in a minute and we'll do one more break test. Ow, never mind. That hurt. So what do you, somebody explain to me what you want to see. Yeah, I think I-beam's stronger than round stock. Like if you look at round stock, right? Like it feels like they have to have more of it. But that could just be this carabiner, right? But if we are going to break a pencil stop, are we just going to do a lock off and see what happens? Because I'm not going to stand next to it if we do. Break a stop, yep. Break a stop. So I want to make sure I break it right because I only want to break it. I only want to break it once. So where is the stop? The blue guy. Okay. Is this the right one, or is there another one I don't know about that you guys will want specifically tested? Now, this is the degree of caving, right? So we're going to just start with it not locked off, right? To see that it, when it slips with the camming unit. And then, well, what diameter rope? Because, I mean, that matters, right? We could do the 10 mil. I have an 11 mil. Like that, an 11 mil would slip at a higher force. Or do you guys want us to start with a smaller cord, show it slips at like 1K and half a K in, and then
8.5 is the smallest that's rated for.
8.5?
Yeah.
Yeah, see if we got an 8.5 kicking around. Oh, is that what that is? Or no, that's a 6.
Yeah.
And now we got an...
I mean,
we got canyon cord. That's
it's really close to 8.5.
Yeah, it's 9. Yeah.
Yeah.
So where's the end of it? Okay. So if this is my anchor, so I'm putting my anchor on the part that pulls. So this thing is stationary, so it's not going to fall out of frame. Wouldn't that be disappointing?
Let's do this. More.
Yeah,
static.
it is super bright.
Yeah.
It is very bright. So this is Pintail, Edelrid Pintail 9.0. It's a polyester, I think. So it's hyperstatic. So make sure you look at the picture. And if you do it wrong, they will tell you. Okay. So obviously I want more tail than that. So I'll probably just go to the end. Yeah. Okay. So tie your 8 first. And we're going to keep this stationary and see when this slips. I think we should go up to an 11 millimeter after this to make sure, like to see what 9 does and then 11 does. And then just lock off the 11 and then break it. Fishing line, we could do that. And that test is over. That was 0 kilonewtons. Okay. Wow, I'm so glad we discovered that. All right. Hold on here. I want to put it directly in the thing.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. And there we go. There we go. There we go. Cool. Yep, and we can suck that up. And it's going to want to, yep, that is how that works. Okay, let's show you what I got so I can get feedback before we break anything. Don't need force on that. Yeah, can you hold that, Bobby? And I'll tell you if human tripod that thing. Okay, so.
That 8 is terribly dressed.
Oh my gosh.
That's definitely going to fail.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it slips pretty low when you pull the handle. Weird how that works. We good? I think that's good. Let's see what they. Yeah, yeah. You want the Omni Triac?
Isn't that what we just broke?
Is that what we just broke? Price up reblaze, fantastic. Okay. Hi, Underground Adventures. No, I don't think it is. This is I haven't caved with this before. Okay. So let's not lock it off and let's just pull it. I'm going to film. I'm not going to film. I'm going to hold my laptop. And so if I put a knot in the end of this and I pull it and it slips and sucks the knot up, sometimes the plates split apart. And that's scary. So I'm trying to figure out if that is what we want to do, or
I think just Sharpie it so we can see the slipping.
Where'd the Sharpie go? Okay, I'm gonna hit 0, start, Sharpie.
So like a big ring right here.
Okay. Doesn't that compromise the rope though? You know, we soaked a Sharpie.
Soaked a rope.
Soaked a rope in Sharpie. We soaked a Sharpie in rope. And I don't think you should believe one YouTube video. Here's the pin. And base your life on one YouTube video doing some backyard science. It is amazing how convinced people are still, like, how bad it is for rope. Okay. There we go. So you'll see that. And how about you pull push the button for everybody. You see the Sharpie there.
Okay.
Yeah. It's
2K in, 3K in, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
I'm scared. I'd say stop. Because I think it's just going to keep going. It's interesting it de-sheathed it.
That's holding 1 kilonewton right now.
And it got up to, holy shit. 9? The rope de-sheathed at 9, which is kind of crazy. Like, if you put that on a microtraction and pulled it, a microtraction would have de-sheathed around 4.5 to 5.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, does it still, can you release it?
Oh. I think the fibers are stuck, but it.
Did they get stuck around the side?
No. Yep. Yep. Okay. There we go. Wow. Does the device still work?
I'll hold this if you want to.
It doesn't feel as healthy. No, those plates are touching pretty badly. Those are rubbing. Is that? Maybe it is supposed to be like that. I don't know. It sure doesn't feel right, you guys. I don't
remember it being that tight.
It's not that tight, but that hole does line up right there. So
Um,
like where you'd clip it is lined up. The top is obviously not lined up. So, I
Yeah.
mean, it still functions. Like, function's a strong word. It doesn't seem aligned quite the same. Well, let's throw an 11 in. I think an 11 would de-sheath.
Put it on the rope and see if it does the thing.
Let's see. So, Jesus, why is this so confusing? Because I think it's just a lot different when you're like, it's an anchor. Okay. Pull. And then if yeah, it doesn't take much. It's working though. Okay, so it de-sheaths this. I can't imagine what's an 11 going to do. Just break the rope? That might be... I mean, it is interesting. I mean, I was expecting the rack to break, the rope to break, and not the rack. Maybe this is...
Stop!
No, the rack. The rack I was expecting...
Gotcha.
I was expecting to still have a rack when I was done. But I don't. I might still have a stop when I'm done. We do not use this equipment after we compromise the crap out of it. Comes permanent lab tools. Okay. Okay, so we're an hour 25. We are going to stop this at an hour and a half. Okay, let's do this. Put that in. Block that off. Let's push it out. Okay. I think you've got to get your 90s right. If you don't get your 90s right, I don't really think you need a Sharpie to see if it's moving or not, but you got your Sharpie?
Yep.
Get that out of the way. And you definitely see the black Sharpie on this white and black rope. Super, super clear. I might put you all close to this and not stand next to it. You know, when I hear the piston whining, I just don't, I'm not feeling it, you know? All right, does that feel super safe enough? Put you back. Okay. Let's make sure you all get a good view. You can see the Sharpie mark right there. But you should be able to see it moving. Is that on? And
yeah.
then
Not the best view I've ever had, but it'll do the trick.
yeah, we could go 0.5.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. And we're going to put on. All right. You ready?
Ready?
All right. It is surprising that was only, what, 3 kN more than the 9 mil. Granted, this is nylon. Let me move this out of the way. Just give you this view. do that. So, ooh, she tight. Those thread, those core strands, that's probably not good for the stop. I don't think locking off the tail is going to produce a different result. It keeps de-sheathing. Unless you got thoughts.
I mean, our mark did move about an inch through that. And I think
It definitely moved.
yeah, so we're sliding the sheath down the rope some.
If you wanted to break the stop,
Put a soft shackle in it.
would you tie it off so the button head gets stuck?
No, you just loop this soft shackle through it and pull on the pins. If you just wanted to break it.
I got an idea. Full circle here with that soft shackle thing. And back it off. Wouldn't be an episode if I didn't have a soft shackle in it. Okay. Oh God.
The plates are definitely closer together now.
Wow. It's just really stuck. So I have an idea that will break this.
Want me to open it?
Yeah. I need somebody big and strong to. There we go. This is going to be bad for the thing I put in it. So let me get one of these guys. I am going to clip this guy off to the anchor. I'm going to thread it through, and that button head is going to get stuck in the back of it, and it's going to explode. It's going to crack my computer screen, and I am going to end this live feed with a tear. So let's do it. Okay. Come on, Bobby. Come on, Bobby. What the heck? Well, I don't know if you need to open it if it's if you can get the rope out. Can we get the rope out without
Struggling with that.
burning it? We had this happen on another piece of gear that was like it was like inconclusive, and we couldn't. Ooh.
We can hook it up to that and pull.
Ooh. I mean, just smack it a few times.
So this should go down, right?
I mean, I think your camming unit. Yeah, put your thumb there. Definitely put your thumb there. You got it.
Under the hammer?
Yeah, under the hammer.
Where's the workbench
Hit it,
when you need one?
hit it on the metal part. Yeah.
And that wants to stay together.
Hit the camming unit. It feels stuck.
Well, that is super unhappy.
Yeah. There you go. Here, let me see something. I'm trying to multitask, okay? Don't judge me. I just think, like, this does not compromise the test in any way.
I think that might be all, folks.
No. Whoa, that handle is mad.
Yeah, that'll make it less mad.
Damn.
Show me you were a painter without telling me.
I can touch it up. Come on. Oh, I got some movement. I mean, I broke it. I just didn't break it cool, you know? Ugh. How many people we got? How many people watching? 220 people watching. Like, does anybody have a suggestion? Why not the razor that busted? I don't, it's in there. It's so tight. It's hard to show in the camera. But it's like, it's super tight. And that's the side that the core is in. Like, I don't even know if I can get the razor blade in there. Fire. I don't want to smell that shit. You know, I don't necessarily need it all out. I just need enough of it out to thread the thing through and then find out if I can break the plates apart or if this comes out.
So will that go through the other? Will that, can you push it through?
Well, I wonder if it's hard to pull through because some of the cores are still there. If we can cut the cores.
I think we might just be cutting them out and then we'll have no leverage to pull them.
This is a ceramic knife blade. Works pretty good.
Until you dull it on the metal.
Yeah, that's, I mean, you gotta, man, this is why we have to edit videos, guys. It's so boring otherwise. Man. Just, damn.
I think that would look great on the wall as is.
Should that be our wall art? Is that accepting defeat right there?
That'll be a conversation piece for everybody who visits, trying to get that out.
Yeah, I guess if they get it out, we can always make a short that shows the soft shackle going through it and then just jamming up inside of it. When does a stopper knot kill you? I don't even know how you would generate enough force on a stopper knot.
Yeah.
It's only your body weight free hanging there.
Yeah, that's interesting for a lowering device to be fully compromised without blocking it off or stopping the rope somehow.
That's, wonder how many of you guys use stops versus simples
Or bobbins.
or racks or bobbins or like I haven't used one of these in a cave before. I keep using the simples or the racks. I can whack the face. I don't know. We've been whacking it. I don't know.
Yeah.
So I wonder. Everybody with a proper man cave workshop is just like, oh, just use this tool. And it's like, I don't have that tool with me right now. Ouch! Yeah, I did it. Wonder if YouTube flags me on lives when I cuss. Okay. That's where we're at. Just gonna cut. This struggle is real. Oh. Oh, look. The determination station. Damn, it's still like, so this thing isn't going to want to move, right?
Yeah.
I could try, now that I have the plate, I could try smacking it. I don't know if I need to. I'm trying to like anything we do from this point on is a totally repeatable test. You know, I talk to people who do real like thorough tests in like companies' labs, and they're like, you know,
I say just
it's all kind of like dirty science, right?
do whatever we're going to do.
Yeah, the question is, can I get a soft shotgun? I think I can.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think that's going to, because it's like hit it up against that pin, right? So there's that. And then
That's moving nothing now.
yeah, it's don't worry, guys. I'm a professional. Man, that is all right. So let's keep you in the loop here. So let me just smashing stuff over in the corner. As remember, I really struggle to get. Man, this live is like a mirror. It's hard to point. I can't get that out, right? It is very stuck in there. And very stuck behind that plate. And that spot right there, you can see is just really smashed in there. Man, it is the opposite direction of what you're expecting. There you go. Now, can I get this soft shotgun? If I can, then we're good. And then I'll have even more of a story to tell later. Okay, so that way, it's going to go down. If I can get it through the gap there, I think that's the hand. Yeah, if that's the thing, I need to go this way. Okay, so the idea, you see what I'm trying to do here, Bobby? Do you see? Do you see the vision?
Usually not.
So the idea is I see the vision, guys. Just stick with me.
Okay.
So I'm trying to, like, that's the thing.
I would just clip it there. Like, I don't think you need to go through that. We'll just test the one pin there.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess we could do that. Is that what you're thinking?
We just want to see full destruction.
Yeah, I know everyone's going to be really disappointed. So we're just going to do that. I was trying to S-shape it, but I think we're going to get similar results if it was S-shaped.
If that doesn't get cut, it will break that pin, and then it will have the opportunity to break the other pin.
I don't know about you, but I like my rappel devices to require a little force to close, so I know they're going to be safe. Okay, here we go. We just don't want to disappoint, you know. Man, our lab is a mess now. Okay, I'm wondering how close I want my laptop.
Yeah, we need to back it off some.
Yeah, I'm gonna need some sort of. I can just extend with this.
Yeah.
Is this gonna give me the 90 I want?
It's not super important on this one, is it?
Maybe not. I mean,
here.
No, it's actually gonna give me the 90 I want. So if you pull it this way and then it starts twisting, it's because when you have high force on things, it's going to do what it's naturally going to do. Just because you lay it flat doesn't mean it's going to stay flat. I guess the 90, it might make it 45. Could be wrong. Start. 0.5 video, 0.5. I definitely don't want to break this without getting a lot of footage. So most people who visit here are disappointed when I tell them they have to go sit around the corner during the break test and they can't watch. It's probably how you're going to feel right now because you have to be this far away in order to, you know, I wonder if, is that okay, guys? Because that would like, then it's just like the edge of my computer sticking out. Let's do that. Okay. Is the load cell on?
See the red square, load cells on.
Yeah, I'm really concerned about my laptop, so go for it. Oh, there's that 90s. Holy shit. I am so glad. We moved it.
We've got some over here. This feels like the old How Not To.
Oh my God, this is what a grand finale.
Yeah.
Wow, I was really disappointed you weren't going to get, you know, the big one.
Oh, and then it all popped back here.
Wow. Oh, look how curved that is.
Yeah.
Wow, that shit went flying everywhere. All right, so got that piece. Got that piece. Did we turn off the camera? Okay, that camera, and then we're going to stop. 23.55. I'll show you that in a second. We got that piece. And the problem is, like, all this stuff went flying, so that made it more dramatic.
That's a nice propeller.
Yeah. That looks like it's missing something. It doesn't look broken, actually. I don't know. Okay, let's show you the load cell. And there you go. I mean, it's not that interesting. It went up and down, but you can see that the number is 23.55. Does it have a rating?
You gotta find the piece that has.
You gotta find the piece with the rating.
Yeah. I'm sure it has some kind of rating in the manual.
There's that. You know, they're right. Holy crap, they're right. We got the rope out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, where is the rope?
Lord Garrick. Good call.
Oh, hey.
Whoa.
So the rope came out with the spring.
Yeah. Yeah, this looks cool. You just watched a long caving episode. There you go.
There's confetti core all over the place.
Yeah, so sometimes if we have it broken in that many pieces, we'll do little things like that. You have that one. We have the birdie.
And then over here.
And then we have, oh, here's the Gregory, right? So we'll have to do another one with the Petzl stop. Yeah, this was fun. It's an hour and 47 minutes. Wow, this is like 9 o'clock on the East Coast right now. Y'all need to be going to bed. Yeah, this was fun. Thank you guys. And we will maybe do this again because this worked. Thank you, Out of Bounds Grotto, for poking me to do this. And we'll keep this video up as a video future people can watch, and the chat will actually be live in that video so people can see as if they were watching live. So if you want to show people what happened, feel free to do that. And we will be posting some more shorts this week. Next week we have a full episode coming out. And then every week we have a newsletter that we put probably at least 10 man hours into. I write all the article, the body of the article myself, and it has all the content we put out that week and whatever the store news is interesting. So hownoto.com/sign up for that one. And I'll post next time in those newsletters when we're going to do this, so you can actually plan better in case you didn't see it before. See ya.